Okay, well, the BRZ has broken on us today, which kind of sucks, which means I spent money, which means I probably shouldn't have, but I did anyways. But I tried to do the logical thing and the cheap thing before spending this money, because that's what we're about, is trying to save money. That's an absolute lie. I don't know why. I just told you guys that. All I do is spend money on car parts and live my life one day at a time. But like I said, the BRZ broke on us this morning. Oh, sorry, I'm getting way off topic. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. I hope you're having a good day wherever you are. Anyways, now that we got that out of the way, so I bought a new head unit for the BRZ because a lot of you guys in the past have asked me like what my recommendations are for like media enhancement. So we'll go over this head unit that I got here in a second. But like I said, I tried to do the logical and the smart thing, the cheap thing, to fix the BRZ. So this morning, after I got done shooting the Blackview camera video, my phone wouldn't connect to the head unit anymore. It still has a stock touchscreen in it with GPS, all the fancy stuff. But yeah, the Bluetooth just stopped working. I tried disconnecting, reconnecting multiple times and just nothing. So I just figured that the Bluetooth in there, it had just finally died after 7 years, which actually is not as long as it should have lasted, but it should have lasted a lot longer. But anyways, I tried to buy an aux cord, just a simple fix, get an aux cord, plug my phone in, listen to my music that way. My phone doesn't have an aux cord. What kind of day and age do we live in where phones just don't have aux cords anymore? They are not, aux cords are still functional. Phone manufacturers, if you ever see this, stop taking our aux cords away. So, since I couldn't use an aux cord, I couldn't use Bluetooth, and I don't like listening to the radio every single day, we got a new head unit. Now, the head unit we got is a Sony. It is a somewhat fancy one. I think it was about $400 for it. Not like super high up in the market range for head units, not super cheap either, but I wanted something that I knew I was gonna like and something that I knew I was gonna enjoy using every day. User interface is a big one for me. So, I mean, just looking at the box and the reviews that I saw online, the user interface looked good. It also has Android Auto, which is something that I wanted. Sorry, iPhone users, don't have an iPhone, but it does also have Apple CarPlay. So I'm gonna show you guys how to install this thing. We'll play with it a little bit. I'll give you guys like some honest feedback about it, and we'll see if it lives up to the expectation. So first thing we gotta do is solder on this connection harness, the quick connect harness, so that way we're not like splicing into the factory OEM harness in the car and destroying it. So let me get this camera thrown up on the overhead mount. We will take a look at the head unit itself, I guess, and then start soldering up some wires and getting it installed in the car and playing with it a little bit. Alright, you guys, so this is the head unit that I decided to go with. It is the Sony XAV-AX3000. I don't know quite what that means, but it seemed like it was a good head unit, so let's give this thing an open here and see what we got. Head units still come with remotes. Interesting. Head unit itself, perfect. All right, let's pull this guy out. Wow, dude, that is weird. That is, hold up, I'll show you guys in a second. What else do we have? We have a microphone. We got some screws. I think that's it in the box. All right, let's toss this box. So this is interesting. So here is our head unit. Now the thing that is weird about this is look at that. Like the whole receiver end part is not the entire backside, which I mean, hey, I guess weight savings for the car. But that's very interesting. So I guess it'll sit in there like so, and then I guess this will all just be blank space, but interesting. We're not even gonna mess with this yet. Let's get the wiring knocked out for this so that way we can have that done with. So I do need that instruction manual over here just to be able to know what color wire does what. What we're gonna end up doing is splicing this harness with this harness. Let me grab my soldering iron and some solder, and we will get going on connecting all of these. Alright, you guys, so we have our harness done. There were a couple things on this harness that kind of threw me off. There's a solid blue wire on the adapter pigtail for an antenna. Now with this pigtail, this is for 87 Toyotas and up, so this radio doesn't necessarily need it. There's also the parking brake one. I'm not gonna wire that one in, I just don't care to. Outside of that, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Match up the colors, match up what they go to. If you guys don't know how to solder, it's also pretty easy. You just hold the solder onto a wire and then heat it up with the soldering iron, and that melts part of the solder onto the wire and joins them together. So I've got each wire individually wrapped with electrical tape, and then I also have the harness kind of just cleaned up a little bit so that way there's not wires flopping around everywhere back there. But let's go pull out this stock radio, let's get this new one fitted in. I did see that this one is a little bit smaller in width compared to the other one. Not necessarily screen size, but just the width of the actual head unit. So there might be a small gap on each side, but I can definitely live with that. It's not gonna bother me. So let's go get the stock radio pulled out. Let's get this one put in and play with it a little bit. Let's see how it does. Let's see how it does. Let's play with the things. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull out this stock one first. I just have a couple like trim removal tools. This piece just pops right out. After this piece pops out, it gives us access to get to the radio. So that panel just pops right off, and then there is our radio. So there's 4 Phillips screws in here that we're gonna end up taking out. Actually, there seems to be a 10mm and some Phillips. So let's go ahead and just pull all those guys out. Needed a little bit of love to come out, didn't ya? Aha, stock one is free. Let's hop back over to the bench. Okay, now this is our new radio on the left. This is our old one on the right. So one thing that concerns me is that we are missing a lot of radio here. As you can see on the stock one, we need to reuse these brackets and put them on our new radio. So this is gonna be a little bit interesting, but let me get these brackets off. Once the brackets are off, we can start trying to figure out how to get them on the new one, and we'll go from there. Baby steps, right? One radio at a time. Not the most ideal because we are missing half of the radio down here, but the brackets do line up, thankfully. So now that we've kind of figured out how these go on, let's get the other one on here. Let's get this guy in the car and start playing with it a little bit. So we're just gonna do the same thing we did on the other side, onto this side. We have the OEM brackets put on our radio. Let's go get this guy plugged in the car. It's as easy as just matching up all the connections on the back, the same thing that was on the stock radio. You're not gonna reuse all the connections on the stock radio that you had on here. We do also have a microphone that I'm going to route inside of the car too, just so that we are able to maintain our calling features. So, looks pretty chill. Let me go get this stuff plugged in and start running everything. And then we can have a dope new radio in the car that actually works. All right, you guys, it is in. So these are the gaps right here that I was talking about. I ordered a dash kit. It was like $5 from Best Buy. I can go pick it up tomorrow just to get that finished. So I'll do that tomorrow. Not too worried about it. But right now we're running the microphone in the car. So I have it coming out the bottom. I'm gonna wire it up there, through there, behind the A-pillar, and it's just gonna sit behind this A-pillar up here. As for the USB, I don't know where I'm gonna put that one yet. So after we get the microphone done and get that put back and away, we'll figure out where we want our USB cables for our Android Auto, because Android Auto will not work unless you have a cable plugged into it. But we'll get to the USB portion after we do the microphone. So let's get this microphone wired, get that one done with so we can get that lower panel back on, and keep going on this. Microphone wire is ran, so I ran it underneath the kick panel, just right down there with all the other wirings. I just zip tied it up to the loom, then I ran it up behind the sill, up through the A-pillar, and then our microphone is just hanging out right up there now. Like, it's a little conspicuous, but it's also inconspicuous at the same time. It'll work for me. It's not ideal. I would much rather have tapped into the OEM microphone up there, but the wiring just isn't totally compatible. So next up on the docket is to figure out where I want this USB cable. So I'm gonna time lapse that one. When I get it figured out, I'll show you guys the routing of how and where I decide to put this. So let me figure this out and then we'll recap here in a second. So I wanted to show you where I ran my wire. So originally I had it just coming out down through this kick panel, and then I pulled off this whole centerpiece. I have it tucked back behind the carpet where it's just never gonna be seen. And then I have the actual like phone cord itself running up through the center console. I drilled like a small 1/2-inch hole right there, fed the cable through, and now we have our, what is it? The thing. We have our Android Auto phone cable kind of hanging out there. So let me get this reassembled. After we get all this put back together, we'll hop back in, we'll start playing with this head unit a little bit and seeing the capabilities of it. You can also wire up a backup camera to this if you wanted to. I have one on the car, I just don't have it wired up. But let me get this reassembled, then we'll play with that guy. Yo, it is so hot in the BRZ right now. You have no idea. But all of our wires are ran. The head unit is installed tomorrow when I get the little dash trim pieces. I'll put those in also just to clean it up a lot more. Well, actually, that's all that we have left to do is put in those dash trim pieces, and I don't have them yet because Best Buy closes at 6. That's so early. But let's play with this thing. Let's get it set up, and then let's test it out and see how the UI is, the Android Auto, and play with it a little bit. All right, let's get this set up. Let's get the phone connected. So the phone I'm using for this is a Samsung Galaxy 20 Ultra. Wow, the UI on it actually looks pretty good. So if I go home, I think it's just this menu. If I go option, let's do Bluetooth. Let's pair Bluetooth first. So Bluetooth connection on. Let's go into general. What can we do? English. Let's set the date and time. Open source license. Oh, dope. This is open source. So if you wanted to go through and change things, you could. Sound. Extra extra bass. Yeah, we want extra bass. No biggie. Let's plug in the cable here and try out the Android Auto, because that is the whole reason why I bought this, was Android Auto. So please stop your car and follow the instructions on your phone. Stop. Android Auto will resume when your car is parked. Already parked. Engage the parking brake. The parking brake is engaged. Oh my God, I need to run that little green wire. All right, hold up. I'm gonna run the little green wire to the parking brake. All right, you guys, so I got the Android Auto to work. I just grounded the parking brake for it. So all you have to do is ground the parking brake to something, because when your parking brake is up, it sees a negative signal on that, so it allows you to do all the features of the head unit. So all I did was cut it. I put a small like ring clip on it and grounded it to the radio bracket itself, so that way it bypasses it. Now, as a car enthusiast, I highly suggest doing this. As a law-abiding citizen, I don't suggest you do it, but you do you. I'm gonna bypass it. That is purely my decision. So let me get this trim panel, throw it back on, and then I'll show you guys the Android Auto, because it is pretty dope. So this is actually pretty dope map settings for the head unit itself. I'm a fan of it. It's also got like this multi-function down here where I can use Apple Music, Pandora, which I use all the time, my phone, if I want my calendar. Oh, Melanie's calling. Now's the perfect time to test this. Hello.
You rang?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
If you had to put it on a scale of 1 to 10, how well would you say that the audio of this is?
10.
10?
Oh, 9, because there's feedback, but it sounds really clear.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's not bad. That is not bad. Is there a way to like open this? Can I open that? Oh, this is dope.
So I'm just getting ready. We're gonna watch a scary movie, watch a serial killer movie, watch some kind of movie. Oh, am I on video?
Yeah.
Oh, awkward. Okay.
So honestly, you guys, like, I'm pretty happy with it. Let's test out the audio of it to see how it sounds. I think Ariana Grande is playing, but I'm gonna play some non-copyright music. Actually, I don't know if I can. I think I can play up to like 5 seconds of like copyrighted music. So we'll turn the volume up on this. Okay, that's enough of that. That is enough of some Ari. The sound quality of this thing, I would actually say, is probably like a 9 out of 10. Melanie said that the call quality when I called her was about a 9 out of 10. User interface, I would put it at about 9 out of 10 also. It's pretty good user interface. It's pretty responsive to touch. Charges my phone as well, which I mean, I don't really care if it charges my phone or not, as long as the Android Auto works, and it works flawlessly. I like Android Auto a lot better than the OEM Subaru head unit that was in the car, so I'm gonna chalk this up as a purchase well spent. All right, you guys, that's what I've got for you on this one. I just wanted to kind of share this like new head unit feedback thing. I don't know, a lot of you guys asked me about audio stuff, so if you guys ask me a recommendation on a head unit now, this is going to be it, because I'm pretty happy with it. I'll link it down below also, as well as the wiring harness kit and the dash kit for BRZ, FRS, WRX, and STI. I think is going to be a little bit different because we have a different style like radio inside of the VA chassis STIs, but 10 out of 10. I mean, I'm happy with it for 400 bucks. Does everything I want it to. Really good quality, really good like GPS navigation using Google Maps on my phone rather than using an integrated like OEM software that looks like it was built in 1993 and it's only 2D instead of 3D and it looks stupid. So 10 out of 10, I like it. User interface is awesome. It sounds really good as well. Sounds a lot better than that OEM head unit that we took out over there. But like I said, that's all I got for you guys. So if you like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that like button, turn it blue like the badges on the Subaru. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit your boy up one of these corners. No idea which one yet. But with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.